helm.
Hello.
He is going to be making sure that you're all kind to each other. I'm assuming that's not going to be a problem. And we are going to be talking about Benjamin Franklin. Bet you didn't see that coming, did you?
I didn't.
So yeah, we're going to talk about how to keep our family members, I don't know, livable in this coming holiday week and a half. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
And surprisingly enough, there is a huge thing that we can do, or at least a number of things that we can do, that came directly from the pen of Benjamin Franklin. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
I'm excited. Not that I wasn't excited before, but this sounds great.
Oh,
bring it.
Thank you. Well, before I do that, tell me who we got tonight.
We've got Kelly, who, and I don't know if this is one of Franklin's own suggestions, but Kelly says, I know the answer. You move thousands of miles away and then you don't have to see them except briefly on Skype.
So it's funny you should mention that, Kelly. And by the way, hello. Because I think, honestly, that while I am of a very similar opinion to yours, the problem that we all end up facing as a result of that is that we just can't relate to each other on perhaps the same level that people in other generations may have done, because there are so many of us, percentage-wise, that live away from the place where we grew up or the people that we grew up with. And that's not to say that in history there weren't migrations, because of course there were, and a lot of times en masse. So it's a common misconception for people to think that we, as a human race, just kind of stayed put until the 20th century. That's obviously not true if you just look at history on a basic level. But I do think that because we live so far away from each other so regularly now, comparably, that it makes it difficult when we all come together. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this specific topic for a SO stream. And along those lines, I do want you all to weigh in on this as well, because what I'm going to be using as the basis for what we're going to be talking about today is Ben Franklin's 13 Virtues. Now, you may have heard of his 13 Virtues. He developed them when he was 20 years old. Kind of think back, if you went to college, your college days, and how maybe if you were at least a little bit like me, you perhaps were not the best at time management yet. And so Ben Franklin, in his early adult years, decided to develop these virtues for himself to kind of keep himself on the straight and narrow path, trying to be the best person that he could be. And he tried really hard to keep to these for apparently his entire life. And what's interesting about that to me is that he actually lists them in his biography, his autobiography, that is, before he dies. And yeah, they're not really even considered or published until, after his death. And so this is something that he literally kept with him his entire life. But the reason why we're talking about them tonight is because I feel like they can give us some insight on how to deal with other people that we perhaps don't see at any other time of the year, except maybe during the holiday season. So while I am going over some of these virtues, why don't you tell me in the comments below, or actually we're in the chat, aren't we? So yeah, in the chat box, I don't know which direction it is, but wherever the chat box is in relation to me, then why don't you tell us whether or not you are hosting or you are being hosted for your Thanksgiving dinner if you are having one. And if not, you can talk about Christmas as well, because I think that this stuff is still going to apply to that get together, whatever it is that you are planning on doing. Might even be, one of the subset of other holidays that are coming up beyond Thanksgiving and Christmas. Just let us know. What are your plans and how do you plan to keep yourself sane?
And while you are sending in those messages, I didn't get a chance to read off everyone else's names. So welcome Sue, welcome the Walker, Jeffrey, Renee, Sue. I've just said Sue. That's two Sues. It's the same Sue, but I said her twice. Shauna, Beth, and Cassiopeia and Candace. And Cassiopeia says patience, lots and lots of patience, and tongue biting.
So tongue biting, oof, that sounds like a really good idea, a good call to make sure that we are keeping ourselves only saying the nicest things to one another. Along those lines, actually, the reason why I want to go down the 13 virtues route is that at the end of the day, we can't really control other people's behavior, can we? The only behavior that we can really control is our own. And so that's one of the reasons why I think it's really important to remind ourselves the things that we should be keeping out for ourselves when other people are around. So along those lines, number one is temperance. And Benjamin Franklin talks about temperance as eat not to dullness and drink not to elevation. So, of course, we're talking about Thanksgiving here, which is all about the food and all about the drink, whether you're an alcohol person or not. In our family, we do drink alcohol, but I try all year round, personally, to keep it to maybe one glass a night, if that, when it comes to dinner. And I feel like at Thanksgiving and at Christmas time, that's almost more important than it is the rest of the year, because you have a lot of other people around you who may have differing opinions to yourself about a number of different topics. And of course, whenever there is drink involved, then there is apt to be some discussion that's a little bit different than it might be if you were sober. So I think that temperance is actually more important this time of year than it may not, or than it may be for the rest of the year, which I think it's still important just to have balance, right? Have your drink, but don't have 6 in a night, right? And then with the food, same thing. As I said in a previous live stream, if you're having more than half vegetables on your plate, you're probably on the right track. So try really hard for that ratio, and you're probably not going to eat as much as you would otherwise, I think. Just, it's something that I, of course, I mean, look at me. I obviously struggle with this as well. But that said, if I keep in my mind half vegetables, then I'm more likely to succeed at temperance when it comes to food. Lawrence, do we have any comments on this first of the virtues so far?
Well, we certainly have comments just in general about how to combat the problematic family dynamic. And this is an interesting one. Sue says, we practiced eating together in the past through regular family meals, including with extended family, and people know which topics to avoid around each other.
I like that. And along those lines, actually, number 2 is silence. And what he says is, speak not but what may benefit others or yourself. Avoid trifling conversation. And so I am not a believer that you should stay away from politics or religion. I think that discussions about politics and religion can be very beneficial. However, I also think it's really important to know what kinds of things trigger you. And along what was said just a moment ago, thank you for that, you need to know what kinds of topics that you personally need to avoid in order not to fluster yourself or get those around you too flustered. And if you feel yourself going in that direction, I don't know, think of Kafka. Hashtag think of Kafka. Maybe that should be a thing for the entire, our cat. Think of our cat whenever you think that you're going to get flustered with a family member.
Yeah, because he does that. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Kelly says, my problematic relatives have all passed away. But when I was younger, I used to just sing the Meow Mix song in my head when they started being offensive. That's so weird. I was singing that this morning. But in
being offensive?
No. But I was singing it in the voice of Dr. Evil, because he sings it in one of the Austin Powers films.
I don't remember this, so I must have still been asleep. I don't know.
I was doing the dishes and I was singing the meow mix, please deliver. What was I thinking?
So yeah, theme, think of cats, hashtag think of Kafka. And then we'll all be fine. And I'm sorry, I think, to hear that your family members have passed away. Isn't it interesting though that your problematic ones did? I don't know how to feel about that. And I don't know if you want to elaborate or not. That's absolutely fine if you don't. Lawrence, do we have any other conversation about this topic so far?
Let's see. I'll keep going through them. There's a lot of good discussion here. I went all northern there. So Jeff says that the kids normally have the big holiday meals with my ex-wife and her family. And then we've got, let me see here. This is Shauna is hosting her mom and her husband for Thanksgiving. First time ever. I'm scared of the turkey. That's not my words, but Shauna's. Oh,
Shauna, don't be scared. Turkeys are pretty easy. And I found out sort of by accident earlier this week that you can buy a pre-cooked turkey. Did you know that?
What?
This is a brand new thing well, it's probably not brand new. Let's be real here. I am not like an innovator when it comes to looking for new grocery finds, but I will say it was very strange to me when we got our delivery and we ended up with a pre-cooked turkey. And that is certainly not something that I was expecting. And I ended up getting a refund for it because of that. But now we have a random pre-cooked, I think it's actually smoked turkey in our fridge, in addition to the actual turkey that I will be making on this channel next week. So Shauna, or anyone else who is afraid of the turkey, don't worry. I am actually going to do a YouTube video on how to make, I think, the simplest turkey. It's not necessarily going to be the most intricate recipe ever. It's just kind of turkey basics 101. So I think actually it might be beneficial to you. I hope it is at least. But be looking out for that. Hopefully, cross fingers, no later than Wednesday of next week. So it'll be there just in time for your turkey meal to be started. Okay? Lawrence?
Yes, Renee says, I'm hosting this year and had to rent an extra table and chairs. Thank God for my husband. He's keeping me calm. I plan on practicing breathing exercises and having wine.
I feel that. Yes, I do.
And this is a good tip as well, I think, just to reiterate that, and this is from Kelly. Shauna, remember that you need to thaw the turkey early because it can take days.
Yes, so I believe it is, and you can correct me in the discussion box. Where is it, Lawrence? Is it this side or is it this side?
The first one.
This side.
Yes.
So tell me over here if I am I'm incorrect about this, but I'm pretty certain that this is right, that for every 5 pounds, average at least, then you need a day's worth of thawing. So if, for example, you have a 10-pound turkey, then you're going to have 2 days of thawing. If you have a 15-pound turkey, that's 3 days, and so on, all the way up to, I think they can get as big as 25 or 30 pounds on the highest end of turkey. So yes, 5 pounds for every day of thawing. And if I'm completely off base on that, then please let me know in the chat box. Now let's go to number 3. Number 3 is order. Let all your things have their places. Let each part of your business have its time. So personally, from my standpoint, our apartment is a complete wreck. I will be honest with you right now. And I am doing everything in my power to make sure that it is not a wreck by the time my relatives get here on Wednesday. So there are 2 things that I have on my to-do list. And the first one is we're actually getting some new cabinets in later this week. And we're going to assemble those and make sure that they are stuffed full of some of the things that needed organization long, long ago. And the second thing is I am, for the first time ever, hopefully, if the stars can align and everything else works out right, hiring a cleaner on Wednesday morning because everyone is supposed to be here on Wednesday afternoon. So that means that I will not be running around like a turkey with its head cut off, trying to get ready for all of this, because there will be a cleaner in here doing that work for me so that it's ready for everyone else when they get here. If you are not in that position, which I know that I never was until this year, then I suggest heavily that you get all of your cleaning done before you start anything else. So if you have dusting, or you have carpets to clean, or you have floors to polish, or whatever it might be, make sure all of that stuff is done this coming weekend, so that when Turkey Day arrives, then it's already done, and all you have to do is like a quick brush up and you're ready to go. So that's my 2 cents on order. But Lawrence, do we have any other comments about this discussion so far?
We do, and I would love to know if turkeys can run around without their heads on, or if this is just bestowed upon chickens.
I don't know. I'm just as interested in that as you are.
I'll look it up after this very chat. This is I love this one. This is from Jeff. Thinking Kafka should create quite a metamorphosis in one's attitude. The book by Franz Kafka.
Indeed.
And then what have we got here? A lot of comments have come in. So I'm not Superman, it turns out, and I can't keep up quite as I'd liked. But no, there's just to quickly cover these. Candace says, I have a huge family on both sides of my family, plus my husband's family. So I just try to see things from different perspectives.
I can feel that. Yeah, I think that that's really good. And I think that that's honestly the practice of listening to people is so important and underrated, I feel, in this society in which we live right now. If we just listen to each other more than we actually speak, then I feel like we're more likely to get along.
Yeah. And Cassiopeia says, my in-laws got tired of the family drama every year, so we are going to another relative I don't know for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Risk-taking, but
wow,
yeah.
Someone you've never met, or just someone that you've never been hosted by? That's what I want to know.
Yes, because the two things are quite different. Sue says, my ex is coming for Thanksgiving only to bring my kitty from Indiana. Oh, that's amazing.
Yay.
Actually, he is working on my new 25 by 30 craft studio, grand opening coming very soon.
How exciting. And is that going to be in Indiana too? When I come to visit my own relatives at some point in the future, will I have to come and visit you as well?
And another question about turkeys in regard to how you cook them, not how you decapitate them. Anyone brine their turkey?
You know, I have in the past. I don't think this is going to be controversial, I suspect. I don't think it matters. I actually don't. And not only do I not think it matters, but if you're keeping the skin on your turkey when you cook it, then it actually hurts the quality. Go ahead at me. It's fine. Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be okay. I suspect.
So before we go any further with this discussion or anywhere in the discussion at all, then I would like to let you know that yesterday was Thank You Patrons Day. And I kept it kind of low key. Didn't do a lot here on the channel or on my Instagram and Facebook pages, but I did want to, because I knew that this live stream was coming out today, I wanted to say another thank you, another wholehearted thank you to those of you who are patrons and are watching this either right now or during the playback. It is honestly because of you that these live streams happen, and they happen so regularly, because I'm pretty certain that I just wouldn't have the drive that I do to do all of the preparation work that comes into these live streams if it weren't for you. So thank you, patrons. I seriously appreciate everything that you do for this this baby channel of mine. It's really, really sweet of you to support me in this way. So yes, thank you, patrons. And now, Lawrence, if there are some more, discussions in the chat, then please let me know.
There are a lot of yays, or a couple of yays, I should say, for brining the turkey. That comes from Candace, and it just moved, and Sue as well. And Renee says, yes, I'm currently cleaning the apartment and getting rid of things we no longer need. I am also hosting my grandmother's 90th birthday party this weekend.
Oh, well, happy birthday to your grandmother. That is amazing. And I hope that you all have a terrific time. So, Lawrence, yay in terms of don't brine the turkey, or yay, I brine it every single year and I can't live without it?
No, the latter. Brining seems to be a popular thing on the turkey, but not, just to be clear, not decapitation.
Yes. That, I mean, by the time it gets to you, probably in this day and age, that's been taken care of.
That's done.
So there is that. Yeah. So number 4, resolution. Resolve to perform what you ought, perform without fail what you resolve. So if you promise you're going to do something, do it to the best of your ability. Don't stop yourself. And this is something that I struggle with a lot. And maybe you all can empathize with this. I'm not sure. But I struggle when I spread myself too thin. And I feel like I spread myself too thin a lot because I promise too much sometimes. And so it is a constant struggle with me to kind of have that balance of I'm working, I'm very, very busy, but I'm only busy enough that I can get everything done in the proper amount of time instead of doing too much all the time and, promising too much to everyone. So if you can, associate with that on any level, then please let me know in the comments. And yeah, just make sure that you do the things that you're supposed to do as opposed to too many procrastination projects like I always do. Don't be like me, okay? That's really the moral of number 4.
I disagree. I think more people should be like you, wife.
Why do you say that?
Because I'm supposed to, as your husband. Okay, so let's see. Some other questions came in. This is for the group. This is from Kelly. Bacon breast shield on the turkey or no bacon? I kind of like the sound of that.
I think that sounds great. I've not tried it myself, but the reason why I think brining doesn't work, I know. Okay, it sounds like you guys love it, and I'm sorry. But the reason why I don't think the brining works that well is because it undermines what's supposed to be kind of a crispy and very thick skin on a turkey, of course, comparably with another kind of bird. And so instead of the brining, if you have bacon on it, it stands to reason that not only is the bacon going to crisp up for the obvious factor that it's bacon and it's being baked in an oven where it crisps naturally anyway, but it's also a natural fat, or at least partially. And so it's going to probably crisp that skin as well. So that sounds like a fabulous idea. I'm not going to try it on this recipe, but if you do try that, please let me know because I think it's great.
The Walker has a great suggestion. Remember to hit like, everyone, the thumbs up, so that these videos can just be the most popular videos that have ever been made. I
appreciate that. Thank you.
And the Walker also says, and this has got my attention, I tried a wet seasoned mayo rub one year. That sounds positively filthy. Messy and not worth the effort. Looking for alternates. Yeah.
So again, anything with fat. Mayo is
amazing.
Mostly protein, I think. That sounds right to me, at least in terms of its biological makeup. Biological, is that the right word? I don't know. Gastronomical. Either way, it's not completely a fat or it's not over half a fat, I don't think. And so, I know that there's fat components to it. Again, don't at me, it's fine. But I think that you're probably going to be better with something that's over half fat. So again, butter is a great option. Doing an olive oil rub, which is actually what mine is going to call for, is an absolutely wonderful option that I've tried many times before in the past. Let's see. Again, the bacon thing, go for that. I think it sounds like a fabulous plan. Anything with fat is going to help you. I mean, you could even rub the thing in vegetable oil and you'll probably get better results than you did with the mayo.
And it looks like, for point of clarification, mayo is pure fat.
No, come on.
There are
really?
two
See, okay.
All
right, friends. Yeah. I don't like mayo, so I I don't know.
I do. I absolutely
I've seen it
love
made
mayo.
before. I thought that it was like, maybe I'm just gonna have to look this up. I'm sorry.
We've had, by the way, we've had typo of the week, since we like to have those.
Okay.
Mandy said that she likes to bribe a turkey.
Bribe a turkey.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that. So yeah, tell me what salt brines y'all are into, or is it salt at all? What kind of brinings you want to do? I mean, like, I think brine is supposed to be a salt. I am not a chef, friends. I am a home cook, and I'm here to learn just like you are. So I've been doing it obviously for a number of years, but that doesn't make me perfect by any stretch. So please let me know what you guys do too.
Oil and egg and a touch of mustard, says
Egg. That's what it is. Yeah, but egg is protein, right? So oil, egg, and yeah, whatever your flavoring is, right? Is what mayo is supposed to be made of. From what I remember, at least. It's been a long time since I took that class. Number 5 is frugality. Make no expense but to do the good of others or yourself, i.e., waste nothing. So, obviously, we're talking about Thanksgiving here, and all of the foods that come along with it. We have a lot of different and abundant foods that come along with Thanksgiving. And in America, at least, I feel like it's more and more the case that we have abundance almost all year round. And it's really difficult to be able to balance that abundance with not being too over the top about it. And it's something that maybe a lot of us actually struggle with a great deal. And so please let me know, because even I struggle with this. What are some of the things that you plan on doing to make sure that you are, for example, using all the leftovers, making sure that you're not wasting anything, using that old adage of waste not, want not. What is it that you plan on doing in order to reduce, or at least reduce the effects of that abundance during your Thanksgiving meal? Lawrence, what else have we got?
And Janice said, and hi Janice, by the way, says mayo has egg and lemon juice in it, so there is a bit of that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, actually, I remember now how all of it works.
It's been a while.
It really has been a while. And again, I'm not a big fan of mayo, so I don't make it, which means that I've only seen it made and not tried it myself. Anyway, Lawrence.
Candace says, we normally use sea salt, honey, garlic, and lemon, but it's just kind of tradition. I agree. Sometimes it doesn't crisp like it's supposed to. And then Kelly says, cooked turkey meat freezes great. We freeze it and use it for casseroles and curries.
I think that's a fabulous idea. And that is certainly what I plan on doing with the smoked turkey that I got by accident.
Yep. And just to big you up even more, the Walker says that they've been enjoying your non-live content as well.
Oh, good. Yay. Well, yeah, as I'm sure some of you know, I have started making actual videos on this channel as opposed to just live streams. And you can find them on the channel itself. I think now I've got it configured to where one of those videos pops up immediately when you come to the channel, but just in case it doesn't, I'm sure Lawrence will go ahead and link to either the playlist or one of those videos in the chat box so that you can see the videos that I've been up to. And right now I've started with a quintessential Thanksgiving dinner theme for the first videos that I've released. So far we've done cloverleaf rolls and we have done green bean casserole. And yeah, I mean, I'm very happy with, the amount of you guys who have watched and who have supported me so far. I'm flabbergasted at all of the support. Like, it's just been phenomenal. So thank you so much. And of course, if you hit the notification bell, then you'll always be alerted, not just to these live streams, but you'll also be alerted to those videos when they come out too. And there are going to be a lot of them over the next few days, culminating in that turkey. So be staying tuned for all of that. I'm going to go over one more, and then I think we're just going to have to continue this on with the next one, folks, because we're almost at our half hour. But number 6 is industry, and it says, lose no time, be always employed in something useful, cut off all necessary actions, or all unnecessary actions, rather. So honestly, it's one of those like idle hands do the devil's work type things. If you're not doing something useful, then you're probably going to get into trouble. And so it's really important that we are all keeping ourselves occupied in useful things that are going to help us to prepare for this family gathering that's about to take place, so that we're not losing track of either time or of our own psychological, usefulness. And we're also not resorting to last minute stresses because we didn't take enough time to do all of the preparation work. But that said, we're at 8:30 right now. I am happy to go a little bit further so that we can hear some more of the comments, because it looks like there are probably some more in. And before we do that, the last thing that I want to mention is that we are not going to have next week's So Stream, because as I said, Wednesday afternoon is when my entire family is coming. So Thanksgiving's So Stream is gone. But on December 1st, my patrons, they did their planning and they voted on patreon.com, and they decided that December 1st was the better day for our next So Long Sunday. So be watching in the next few days, because I'm going to give you information on what you'll need for our So Long Sunday that's happening probably at 2 p.m. again, because that seemed like it was a really good time for the first one on December 1st. So 2 p.m. Central Time will be the next time that you see me on our So Long Sunday. And Lawrence, why don't you go ahead and finish us off with some of these comments?
Absolutely. We're going to close us out with some of your suggestions or ideas around turkey. Kelly says, cooked turkey meat freezes great. We freeze it and use it for casseroles and curries. I think I actually covered that one already. And this is a good one. And then we can all take this. This is from Janice. Freeze leftover cooked turkey meat in Ziploc bags. Sue says, whoa, it's skipping around on me. Turkey breast, 5 pounds, single serving pumpkin custard and apple pie, 1 yam. So hardly any leftovers this year, but that still works, right?
Sounds fabulous. Yeah.
Yep. And let's see here. Whoops. The chat's skipping on me. And Cassiopeia, the turkey carcass usually goes to my grandpa's farm dog. Interesting.
Oh, wow.
Okay, it's not just the humans that get to enjoy Thanksgiving. And of course, yes, the classic. This is DJK. She says turkey sandwiches with leftover dressing and cranberry sauce.
It's one of my favorite things in the world. And along those lines with the turkey carcass, it makes a really good broth, and it can be used in lieu of any vegetable or chicken broth as well. So that's a good way to reuse those turkey carcasses when you are finished cutting your turkey.
Donna, we buy a small turkey breast and make a few sides. Also, just get 2 slices of pumpkin pie instead of a whole lot. There's only the 2 of us, so we keep it low key.
When it's just Lawrence and I, we've done that sort of thing in the past too, where I'll basically I'll make a turkey breast in a crock pot, which I think is fabulous. And maybe next year I'll even put that recipe up on my blog. And it's really, really easy and low key. And then, just a couple sides. I usually buy a whole pumpkin pie anyway, just because I'll have it for breakfast the entire week afterward, because I love it that much. And that's really it, right?
Yeah. One final comment. Candace says, we send everything off with the 40-something people that show up. LOL.
Great plan.
Absolutely. And everyone, the comments finish out with happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Again, no So Stream next week, but I will be back the following weekend with our next So Long Sunday. Thank you again, patrons, for everything that you do, and happy Thanksgiving.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.